Hello guys, so I'm back with another video. This is Soho Yard, which is a complex of apartments in Sheffield, and it is quite beautifully decorated and is worth looking at if you are hoping to move into Sheffield area. I'll drop down its location in the description box so that you can have a look and see it for yourself. So coming into the apartment, first of all, there is a reading nook where you can work from home and you can uh, open up your laptops and work. There is a kitchen area nearby which has the fridge and burner in case you want to cook something. Moving on, there was a lounge area in which where we can sit and relax and have our friends over and talk to them. In case we don't want to bring them into our own apartment, we can have a chat in the living room and then join them downstairs instead of bringing them upstairs into our apartment. And then there was this cinema room which they had make the ambience of a dark room so that we can comfortably watch movies, and they were thinking of putting glass doors in the door area so that we can have privacy and watch the movies. Moving on, there was this gaming area in which we can play this board game. uh, and then there was this meeting room which we can book for interviews, and if we want to meet someone in person and don't want any interference with any other people, we can book this room for a small amount of money and then spend time here. Then going back, we went through all of the areas that we covered before and into the lounge area so that there we can go into the lift and into our apartments. So these are all the people who were sitting around and doing their business stuff. And moving on into the lift area, first there was this area where we can deposit the letters and collect parcels, and it was also beautifully decorated with leaves and colorfully painted in a yellow paint. And next we went on into the area of the lifts, so and it is quite feasible because the lifts can be used in case wheelchair access is required. So I found this fascinating about this area. Next he showed us the communal area, which is a small area they have created in which we can host parties and invite guests over, but there was a small booking fees for this area to be used, and it has to be pre-booked, it can't be used at any time. And it was quite beautifully decorated and I like the aesthetics of it. Next he showed us our apartment in which we will be living. It I asked him to show us both the one bedroom and the two bedroom apartment. This was the one bedroom apartment. Firstly, there was the kitchen and the sitting area, and uh, there was a dishwasher, oven, and all the kitchen accessories, a fridge, and everything in the apartment. And it was quite beautifully decorated. However, these decorations were only for the apartment which was furnished, and in case we were to move in, we had to buy all of these accessories by ourselves. The fridge, oven, and the washing machine was already inbuilt, but the vases and the books, the cushions, everything that is decorated in this apartment, we had to buy for ourselves, which we will see later in the apartment which was undecorated and is for renting purposes. From the kitchen and the TV lounge area, we moved into the bedroom, and it has a bed which will be provided by the apartment guys. But it is if we are able to lift up the bed and store things underneath if we want to. However, the bed, the decorations on the bed, like the bed sheet and the throws and the pillows, they are not included in the actual apartment. These are for the viewing apartment only. And attached to the bedroom was a bathroom, and it was quite beautifully decorated, but again these things were only for viewing purposes. However, the cabinet and the towel holder, these stuff were already included in the renting apartment, but all of the other stuff like the vase and the pictures and the soap dispensers, they were not included in the actual apartment. And that was all for this apartment. Next, we moved on to see the second apartment, which was a two-bedroom apartment, and it was also located nearby. And the guide, he was quite helpful. He was explaining everything in detail and telling us about each of the apartments and for asking of our about our opinion on what apartments we would like and which one would we prefer. I liked the cooperative nature and the detailed explanation of the guide. So this was the two-bedroom apartment which we saw. This apartment, when we came in, it had a small corridor type thing in which we entered, and then the first door was the storeroom in which we can store our brooms, vacuum cleaners and stuff. And then moving on, there was the bedroom which did not have a attached bathroom, but there were two washrooms in the building, so the uh, there was no issues of using a one bathroom. This in this too, the pillows and the throws were not included, and I do think it is a bummer because it was quite beautifully decorated, and if they give these things to the tenants, then it is beneficial for them and also for the tenants in raising the property value of the apartments. Next, we saw the washroom, which was not attached to the first bedroom, but it was quite beautifully decorated. And then we went on to see the second bedroom of this apartment. This bedroom had the washroom which was attached with it, and then we moved on to see the kitchen area and the lounge which was came after this bedroom. Now, this kitchen area had a quite beautiful view from the building, and there was large windows, and it was quite aesthetically decorated. I liked this apartment quite a lot. Next, we moved on to the second building where the apartments which they had for rent available were present. And this building had the gym area which was open 24/7, and it also had the same lifts and the mailboxes as in the previous building. The only difference was that this a building had a gym in the ground floor instead of all the amenities which we saw previously in the other building, like the lounge and the theater and the meeting room and all of those things. Instead, there was only a gym in this building. Next, we went on to see the two-bedroom apartment which was available for rent and did not have the decorations and the accessories, just to get an idea of what is included in the apartment and what is not. Also, this apartment had bedrooms which were a bit bigger than the previous ones, and I had to have a look at those. So coming into the apartment, firstly there was this washing area and then the bedroom. So this was the first bedroom. It had side tables and the bed, but none of the throws and pillows were included. Next, we moved on and saw the washroom, which was not attached to the first bedroom. And then moving on, we went into the second bedroom to which the washroom was attached. And it was a bit more spacious than the previous one. Moving on, we went into the kitchen area and the lounge, and then we went out of the apartment. Next, he showed us the one bedroom apartment which was undecorated, just to get an idea of what is included. Like, we can see the sofas and the table, the kitchen, uh, oven, and the dishwasher, it was included. And then in the bedrooms, the bed and the side tables were included, but none of the other accessories were the part of the undecorated apartment. Next, to break the steam, we went on to Mount Lebanon restaurant just to have some lunch as we were both starving. And going upstairs, the hotel was quite beautifully decorated. The uh, it was a Turkish Lebanese restaurant with all the Lebanese dishes, and it was a sort of family owned restaurant. And uh, there was a man and a woman who was serving in the whole restaurant. And we sat by the window, looked at the hustle and bustle of the city just to see the buses passing by, and the interior of the hotel was like this.